Hello, we are Team Seaholm 4 of the ACE program in Austin. Our task was to create a design for the abandoned Seaholm power plant building right along the lake downtown. I'm Sydney Heim, and I'm a senior at Bowie High School, and next year I'm going to study architecture at the University of Notre Dame.
I'm Will Scott. I'm a freshman at Austin High School, and I'm interested in studying structural engineering. Our main goals for design are to have a bridge between the water and public trails, create a space that would attract the Austin community, maintain the Austin vibe throughout our space, and work with existing architecture and structure to make the project more feasible.
We wanted to make our design accessible and desirable to those on the walking and biking trails, as well as capitalize on the views going out to the water and interact with the environment. We divided our site into 3 separate buildings because it was such a big space and focused on designing each building separately and then bringing them all together in the end. The final part of the site that we thought was noteworthy was the Austin Public Library because it's become such a high traffic area in close proximity with direct views to the Seaholm building.
These were our first sketches for our design primarily in Building 1. We had trouble getting started, so we made these in order to vaguely lay out what we wanted in each space and get an idea of the proportions to each other. The biggest thing we got out of this was that we wanted to have an atrium that would be the big focal point and draw people to our building. Additionally, we knew we wanted to split the downstairs into a public and private space that would be divided in some way, fish tank, wall, etc. We also started thinking of ways to connect with the water.
After our brainstorming sketches, we started to draw more specific layouts. These involved a lot of collaboration and marking over old ideas, as you can tell, because they're somewhat messy. However, we started to think more about the logistics of how the elements in each space, such as the elevators or stairs or kitchen appliances, would work together. So this is the floor plan for the main building upstairs. An interesting thing that we noticed was that you enter the Seaholm building from the upper floor. Right when you enter, the atrium is on the left to allow direct access from the trails as well as outside. Next to that is a very casual dining area with seating around an opening that allows people to see down into the gaming area and the water on the first floor. We decided to leave this open as opposed to closing it off like we had originally planned because we wanted to draw people into the downstairs area and create a really open, fresh feel that appealed to many. We also wanted to keep as much of the existing structure as we could in order to be more cost efficient, such as working around the concrete columns on the first floor and the existing windows on the second floor. Lastly, we wanted to continue the idea of environmental interaction and cohesiveness throughout our design, so we decided to create a couple of green walls, which are represented by the green lines on our floor plans. And this is the final floor plan for the downstairs of the main building. We settled on a bar space to tailor more towards adult and act as our private area, and a gaming area to be more public, fun, and interactive. Both of these are open to the deck via garage doors on the water with outdoor seating. Our atrium is open to the second story of the main building and is centered around a statue, sculpture, or other unique centerpiece that will maintain the quirky nature of Austin throughout the space. There's also a walkway to the right that will lead to the building 2, which is our accessory building. So these are the inspiration pictures we had for the bar. And as you can see, we wanted to make sure that we really connected with the water in this space because the view is so beautiful. We also wanted to create a separate area from the gaming space on the same floor. So we used a large bar as that separating piece. We also placed an elevator in this space behind the bar so that food could easily be transported from the kitchen without disrupting the rest of the building and its occupants. As for our gaming area, we really wanted this space to act as a way for the Austin community to come together and to interact with each other and just have fun. We wanted to distinguish this from the bar in order to attract families and younger children, not just adults. For our atrium, this is a space that we really wanted to be the main focus of our design. Both Will and I were very passionate about having an open area like this that would be the main attraction and make this building memorable. We wanted to have something in our design that would make people want to come and truly keep Austin weird. For our dining area upstairs, our main goal was to bring in people that were just coming from a run on the trails or just coming from paddleboarding or biking. We envisioned this space as really casual and laid back in order for people to just enjoy the company and refuel at a really unique place with great views. And lastly, we have the deck. The main function of this is to bridge the indoors with the outdoors, as well as the water with the land. Seeing as how the lake is such a big part of the Austin culture, we wanted to incorporate an element where people would be right on the water and could take advantage of the easily accessible views. We also added a space with a bunch of poles where people could set up their hammocks because that's a very Austin thing to do. And we wanted to give people another opportunity to enjoy their time outside.
Our goals for the buildings 2 and 3 were to use them for a bridge between the lake and downtown using bike, scooter, and water sports storage. These are our floor plans for both building 2 and 3. We made sure that our building was accessible by water and land. To do that, we decided to make a covered bike storage and scooter rental area on land, and a place for people to store their kayaks and paddleboards while they go in to eat or hang out. We wanted our building to be as accessible as possible to cater to everyone's needs. We wanted to have an area to store kayaks and paddleboards similar to other places on Town Lake. One of the problems was that there was no connection to the main building, so we wanted to put in a covered walkway connecting the two spaces, making both buildings easily accessible. We wanted to make use of the bike and scooter industry already in place around Austin, and that's where we got our inspiration. Our goal is to create a bridge between the library and the trail and our building, the outdoors and indoors, and the water and the land to make an area accessible to all. In summary, we wanted to bridge buildings as well as the people of the Austin community.
This concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening.